And so my message to you today is just start. Just whatever it is, just start. Figure out what you need to do to move the ball. And you know exactly what you can do right now to start. And if you don't, I'm done. Motivation does not get things done. Motivation and inspiration arise out of consistency. You don't have to do it every day, because the first step might not be the right step, but it is a step in that direction. Do you have a lot on your mind? There's just so much floating around up there. Things that you know you need to do, that you want to do, tasks, projects, reaching out to people, texting people, folding your laundry. It's just all swirling around your head, and you have a hard time getting it out and just doing it and getting it done and completing it. You know, we all have these ideas, these projects, these dreams that we want to pursue and do, and oftentimes we find that it just lives in our head for longer than we would want it to. Eventually we might get to it. You know, sometimes I wash a load of clothes and it might sit in the dryer for a week, or it might sit on my couch for a few days or even a week. And I noticed that even just taking each article of clothing and laying it out on the couch nice and neat, that will make me fold it sooner than if I just left a pile there sitting on the couch. And so my message to you today is just start. Just whatever it is, just start. Figure out what you need to do to move the ball, to get the wheels turning, to move you towards that outcome, that goal, that completion. And you know exactly what you can do right now to start. And if you don't, you have the resources to figure that out. You can figure out how to start nearly anything today, or learn anything. There's myriad free resources at your disposal, at your fingertips. There's free software and tools that you can find. A few months ago, I picked up my trumpet again. I played in grade school and high school, and I stopped playing after high school, but I still have my trumpet 18 years later. And a few months ago, I decided, you know what? I'm going to pick up this trumpet and play it 5 minutes a day. And so I did that. I did that for about a month. Every day I would pick it up and I would play a few notes, or just play a scale or two at the very least. And sometimes I did just that. I just played a couple scales. Okay, I'm done. And then put it away. Other times I went in there with the expectation of I'm only going to play for 5 or 10 minutes, and then 30 minutes later, an hour later, I'm still blasting away and having so much fun. And I noticed in that time that I grew this inspiration. I started to receive inspiration. My skill just picked up like that, and this desire to keep showing up and picking up the trumpet and play it appeared and stayed so quickly after I had committed to playing it for about a week or so. And that brings me to a major point about doing something, accomplishing something, and setting out and achieving a goal, and waiting for inspiration. And that's something that we often do, is we just sit around and wait for inspiration. Oh, I want to do this thing, but I don't feel inspired or motivated. And something that we forget or don't ever realize is that motivation does not get things done. Discipline gets things done. And you can't sit around and wait to be inspired or motivated. You have to create discipline. You have to cultivate discipline. And you'll notice, you'll notice that motivation and inspiration arise out of consistency and showing up. You're never going to get anything done if you wait for inspiration or motivation to hit you. You might get an initial spark of inspiration or motivation, and you might follow that, and that might lead to a constructive period of practice or working on a skill or learning or building something. But that's going to fade if you don't keep showing up. That spark of motivation, that initial spark when we start something, that's, oh, this is exciting, this is new, this is fresh, I can't wait to keep practicing, I can't wait to keep learning and developing and building. You know, we all experience that excitement that comes when we start something new. And I think we've all experienced how quickly that excitement and inspiration fades when we stop showing up for that thing, when we stop working on that thing, when we stop practicing that thing. You know, inspiration and motivation fade really quickly. So it's up to us to show up as much as we can, every day if we can, just for a couple minutes. And if you don't have 5 minutes every day to spend on something that you claim you're passionate about, that you really want to build, it's time to reassess your schedule, or maybe think, is this something I really am passionate about? Because everyone has 5 minutes to find for something. You can wake up 5 minutes earlier than you usually do. You can go to bed 5 minutes later than you usually do. So think of something you really want to accomplish. Think of the end goal, a business you want to build, a skill you want to learn, any new endeavor, anything, even if it's just folding your clothes. I just want to fold my clothes. And sit down and get a piece of paper and write down at the top that thing. What is that thing? Folding clothes. Build a business, right? And then write the very first thing that you think you need to do to achieve that outcome. Just start with one thing, and that can be your task for the day. Folding clothes. Fold the first piece, or maybe even lay out the first piece on whatever surface I fold my clothes on. And that can be your first thing. And you might find yourself inspired to keep going and listing things down that list. You might even go all the way to the end of that goal and just map out what it looks like to do that thing. But keep your commitments small. Don't commit to something so big. Just do little chunks at a time. Just show up every day. Even if you just show up once a week, that will get you so much farther in 1 year than if you didn't show up at all. Every other day is still consistent. You don't have to do it every day. Just make a promise to yourself, have a goal, have an end goal, a vision of where you want to go, and just start walking in that direction. And you will notice the more you walk towards the thing that you want, the more insight you will gain, the more clarity you will receive, the more you will discover what you really do need to do to achieve that thing. Because the first step might not be the right step, but it is a step in that direction. And the wrong first step is better than no step at all. So go take that first step towards whatever it is you want to do and see what unfolds before you. You can do this. I'm rooting for you.